Hey everybody, Stavros here from RPM's Auto Reviews. I'm in my 2019 Kia Stinger and I'm going to do a video to go over the driving modes of this vehicle and what they do. The Kia Stinger does have 5 driving modes. They are Smart, Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Custom. I'm going to do my best to give you a more detailed information on what the different drive modes do. Okay, so where to find it? From the regular menu, but here I go settings, then vehicle. Here we have driving mode to choose the custom subcategory and to change the driver mode change alert. So regarding that really quick, you can change that when you do choose a different mode, whether it's a simple alert, which just kind of pops up on the screen inside the instrument cluster, or if it's the more detailed one, which shows you the vehicle as well. For example, if I go like this, you see it shows you the whole car and everything. If I go to comfort, the whole system's lit up. If I had it on simple, this whole screen wouldn't pop up. It'd just be a little tab that pops up letting you know that you changed it. So okay, so I'm going to click the custom so we can see the 4 categories that are involved in the driving modes characteristics: powertrain, steering, suspension, and all-wheel drive. So we'll get to the custom in a second. We're going to start with the comfort. Now the comfort setting is the default setting. On a side note, also when you turn off the car, regardless of which driving mode you were in when you turned off the car, when you turn it back on, it only remembers if you were in comfort or if you were in eco mode. It'll come back to those when you start the car. If you were in smart, sport, or custom mode and you start the car, it'll turn on in the default comfort mode. Okay, so let's get started. The comfort mode, which is the standard one, we'll start with the all-wheel drive. Its standard comes with 40% front and 60% rear drivetrain distribution. So 60% of back, it is rear wheel biased. Suspension and comfort, it's just that. It's designed to be a comfort ride every day driving around. The steering is set for, the Stinger comes with a pretty good steering feel as it is, but not super overreactive in feedback, I should say. So it's just a standard setting. And the powertrain is also just set for whatever it's set for to drive in. So that's the default setting. So what changes from that is what's important, right? So let's go to sport. In sport mode, all 4 of these categories change. We'll start with the powertrain. The fuel air mixture changes, so the car is more throttle sensitive, more responsive, so more sporty to touch the gas and go. And it also gears down. So if you're driving and you happen to be in 4th gear when you're driving and you put the sport mode, it'll go to 3rd gear. Also affects the upshifting. It'll upshift later in the rev range for a sportier, more powerful acceleration feel. Steering, as you can guess, yes, it does make the steering more stiffer, right? A little tighter, might be a better word. More direct feel, and the feedback to you is more noticeable, right? More driver feedback, so that's good. Suspension, it being sport mode, obviously it's going to stiffen the suspension, so it makes you have less body roll. It actually can take cornering at higher rate of speeds than you could in comfort mode, which I've tested, and definitely I can take off ramps and curves at a higher rate of speed in sport mode. And then all-wheel drive. In all-wheel drive, the comfort I was saying was 40 front and 60% of power to the rear wheels. In sport, it goes 20 to the front and 80 to the back. So, eco mode. Now, eco mode does not change anything in the steering or in the suspension. As you can see, you only have comfort and sport options in both the steering and suspension. The powertrain does change. The reverse happens with the air fuel mixture, where it's tuned to be a lot less sensitive and more of a number feeling. So when you're just kind of touching the gas like this and you're pressing it, there's not much response. It's kind of forcing you not to drive aggressively, so it will save you fuel from not driving hard. And even if you kind of press it a little bit harder than normal driving, it's still on the numb side. But if you do chomp on it a little bit, of course it'll gear down and go like any car would. Also, it upshifts a little bit sooner, so that way you're in a higher gear to save fuel economy. So I've noticed when I'm driving and I'm kind of accelerating regular, or whether I'm accelerating, let's say around 25 to 30% down, in Eco, Comfort, or Sport, all three of them have a different upshift rev range. So for example, the Eco will upshift at 21, the Comfort will upshift around 23, 24, and the Sport will upshift closer to 27, 2900 RPMs with normal driving. A little bit more aggressive driving, it stays consistent. I did a test with this just an hour ago, and I give it a good little chomp, and the upshifting happened just over 3000 in Eco, upper 3000s, almost 4000 RPM in Comfort, and in Sport it was reaching 45 plus RPMs before upshifting. And I was doing my best to kind of press it the same amount for the testing. And the all-wheel drive, which I've heard this once and I'm trying to reconfirm it to be accurate in this video. I believe the all-wheel drive, from the Comfort being 40-60, in Eco mode it switches to 50-50 front rear drivetrain distribution. So it goes to 50 in the front to try to help with fuel economy, because you know how front wheel drives are more fuel efficient than rear wheel car drives. So instead of 40-60 like in Comfort, it's giving that extra 10% towards the front. So what's left is Smart mode. Smart mode is basically the system is watching what you're doing, it's analyzing. It starts off, I believe, in Comfort, and if it notices that you're driving very kind of laid back and casual, it'll switch to Eco mode. If you're driving somewhat aggressive, you know, just a little bit more regular, get up and go, you are chomping on the gas a little bit here and there, but not too much and not all the way down, it'll go to Comfort. It'll only switch to Sport if you go full throttle and you hold it for a couple of seconds, but it won't just go to Sport mode because you chomped on at 50-60% gas to accelerate. It'll stay in Comfort for that. You really got to go full throttle or really accelerate hard 2-3 times. Even if not full throttle, but you accelerate on the hard side a couple times in a row, it'll go to Sport. And then in reverse, once you start calming down into driving, it'll go down to Comfort. Then it'll go down to Eco mode if you continue to just drive softly, carefully. What's left is Custom mode. Custom mode is really pretty cool, I think, because it allows you to configure all four of these categories to what you want. For example, right now I have my powertrain in Sport, the steering in Sport, suspension in Comfort, and the all-wheel drive in Sport. So let's say you want the comfort ride, you don't want to feel the bumps as much, but you really do want everything else to be sporty. For example, before I had it set where my powertrain was actually in Eco mode because I wanted to save gas because I'm cheap, but I had my steering and I had my suspension in Sport, and before I had the all-wheel drive just in Comfort as well. And of course, ultimately you can, you know, mix that up and do what you want. So that's what's pretty cool about Custom. You can set it, so that's like having a fourth option. So there you have it. Those are the explanations of the different drive modes. I hope I've done them justice and explained them thoroughly. Okay, so there you have it. I think I covered everything. Let me know your comments below, any questions. Okay guys, Stavros from RPM Auto Reviews. Thanks for watching. Take care.